Do me a favor, right now. Look at the nearest clock, or look at the time on your phone. Wait for the second hand, or the numbers, to change. Did you see it? Did that first second seem longer than the others? Did it feel like the clock froze for just a moment before starting again? This isn't a glitch in the video, and it's not a mistake in the clock. It is a glitch in you. This phenomenon is called chronostasis. Here is the scary truth. Your eyes are not cameras. When you move your eyes from one point to another, you don't see the blurry motion in between. You would get dizzy. So your brain does something clever. It cuts the video feed. For a fraction of a second, every time you move your eyes, you are effectively blind. Your brain deletes the blurry gap. But it can't leave a hole in your reality. So, what does it do? It takes the image of what you see next, the clock face, and it pastes it backward in time. It fills the gap with a lie. You think you are seeing the present moment. You aren't. You are seeing a prediction, a fabrication, an edit. Scientists estimate that because of this effect, you lose about 40 minutes of visual information every single day. 40 minutes of your life that simply never happened. You are living in a delayed broadcast, a tape-delayed reality show. But this raises a question, a terrifying question. If your brain can so easily fake 40 minutes of reality, what if it is faking the rest of it too? What if the feeling of time passing, that flow from yesterday to today to tomorrow, is just another trick? What if I told you that according to modern physics, now does not exist? What if I told you that your past is not gone, and your future is not waiting to happen? What if I told you that, mathematically speaking, you are already dead? Today, we are going to kill time. We will descend into deep caves to break the human mind. We will visit a man who dies every 7 seconds. And finally, we will travel to the Andromeda galaxy to prove that your future is already written in stone. Welcome to the end of now. To understand what time really is, we first have to take it away. The year is 1962. A 23-year-old French geologist named Michel Siffre decides to do something crazy. He wants to know, is time real, or is it just in our heads? So, he lowers himself into a glacier, a cave called Scarasson in the French Alps. It is freezing. It is pitch black. And most importantly, he has no watch, no clock, no sun, no moon. He is completely cut off from the rhythm of the Earth. Siffre planned to stay there for 2 months. He called his team on the surface only when he woke up and when he went to sleep. But his team was forbidden to tell him the time. At first, everything seemed okay. He read books. He wrote in his journal. He ate when he was hungry. But soon, his mind began to drift. Without the sun to anchor him, his day began to stretch. On the surface, a day is 24 hours. Down in the dark, Siffre's biological clock slowed down. His days became 25 hours, then 30 hours. Eventually, he was living a 48-hour cycle. He would stay awake for 36 hours straight without feeling tired, and then sleep for 12 hours. To him, it felt like a normal day. But the real horror came at the end. On the day the experiment was supposed to finish, his team called him. Michel, they said, it is time to come up. It is September 14th. Siffre was shocked. He argued with them. He believed, he was absolutely certain, that it was only August 20th. In his mind, he had only been down there for 35 days. In reality, he had been there for 63 days. He had lost 28 days of his life. An entire month vanished into the dark. Think about that. Time is supposed to be this constant, rigid thing. Tick, tock, tick, tock. But for Siffre, time was like rubber. It stretched. It warped. This proved that our sensation of time is biological, not physical. It is a chemical drip in your brain. And like any chemical process, it can malfunction. But for some, the experiment was much darker. In 1988, a woman named Véronique Le Guin broke the record. She stayed underground for 111 days. She survived the isolation. Physically, she was fine. But mentally? When she came back to the surface, something in her had broken. She told reporters she felt empty. She said she had lost her sense of self. Without the rhythm of time, without the structure of morning and night, her personality began to dissolve. A year later, Véronique Le Guin committed suicide. Why? Perhaps because we need the illusion. We need to feel that we are moving somewhere, that there is a future, that there is a past. When you take away the clock, you are left with nothing but an endless, suffocating now. And as we are about to see, living in the now is not a gift. It is a curse. If Michel Siffre lost a month, Clive Wearing lost his entire life. Clive was a brilliant musician, a conductor, but in 1985, a virus, herpes simplex, attacked his brain. It ate away his hippocampus. That is the part of the brain that turns short-term memories into long-term ones. The result was catastrophic. Clive has a memory span of between 7 and 30 seconds. Imagine that. You blink, you look around, you don't know where you are, you don't know how you got there, you panic, then 7 seconds later, you blink, and you do it all over again. This is Clive's diary. It is perhaps the most terrifying book ever written. Look at the entries. 8:31 a.m. Now I am really, completely awake. 9:06 a.m. Now I am perfectly, overwhelmingly awake. 9:34 a.m. Now I am actually awake. He crosses out the previous line. Why? Because he reads it, and he says, I didn't write that. I wasn't conscious then. I was dead. Now is the first time I am alive. He believes, every single minute of every single day, that he has just woken up from a coma. For 40 years. It's like being dead. No thoughts, no dreams. Day and night are the same. It is exactly like death. We often hear spiritual gurus say, live in the moment, be in the now. Clive Wearing is the only human being who truly lives in the now, and he describes it as death. Without a past, you have no identity. Without a future, you have no hope. Clive is trapped in a prison of the present, a cell that is only 7 seconds wide. This tells us something crucial. Our perception of time, this feeling that life is a story, a continuous river, is a mental construction. It is a story our brain tells us to keep us sane. But here's the twist. Clive's brain is broken. Siffre's brain was tricked. But what if I told you that your brain, the healthy, normal brain, is lying to you even more? What if I told you that now doesn't exist for you either? To understand this, we have to leave the brain behind. We have to look at the universe itself. And the universe has a very different opinion about time. Let's talk about Albert Einstein. Before Einstein, we thought time was universal. We thought that right now was the same for everyone. If I clap my hands now, that moment exists everywhere in the universe at the same time. Einstein killed that idea. He proved that time is relative. The faster you move, the slower time goes for you. But it gets much, much weirder than just slowing down. It leads to a paradox that suggests the future already exists. It is called the Andromeda paradox. Imagine two people, Alice and Bob, walking down the street. They pass each other. Alice is walking towards the Andromeda galaxy. Bob is walking away from it. They are walking slowly, maybe 5 kilometers per hour, a normal walk. In our everyday experience, they share the same now. They are right next to each other. But Andromeda is 2.5 million light years away. That is a huge distance. And in special relativity, distance amplifies tiny differences in motion. Think of the universe as a giant loaf of bread. This is space-time. What you call now is like slicing that bread. Because Alice is moving towards Andromeda, her slice of now is tilted slightly into the future of Andromeda. Because Bob is moving away, his slice is tilted into the past. At the speed of a slow walk, the angle is tiny. On Earth, it makes no difference. But extended out to Andromeda, that tiny angle creates a gap of days. Here is the paradox. In Alice's now, the Andromedan alien fleet has already launched an invasion. The decision is made. The war has started. In Bob's now, the aliens are still debating. They haven't decided yet. The fleet is still on the ground. Alice and Bob are meters apart. They can talk to each other, but for one of them, the event is in the past. For the other, it is in the future. Do you see the problem? If Alice's now contains an event that is in Bob's future, that means Bob's future already exists. The alien fleet isn't going to launch. It has launched. It is there, in the block of space-time, waiting for Bob to catch up. If there is no single, universal now, then you cannot say that the future is unwritten. Because for someone moving at the right speed, your tomorrow is their yesterday. This leads physicists to a theory known as the block universe, eternalism. In this view, the universe is not a process. It's not a movie that is playing frame by frame. The universe is the whole DVD. The entire history of the cosmos, from the Big Bang to the death of the last star, exists simultaneously as a four-dimensional object. Time does not flow. Time is just a coordinate, like north or south. You don't say that New York doesn't exist just because you are in London. New York is just over there. In the block universe, the year 2050 is just over there. It exists right now. The dinosaurs are still alive back there. And you, your birth, your first kiss, your worst mistake, and your final breath, they are all there, fixed, frozen in the crystal. If you could step outside of time and look at yourself, you wouldn't see a person moving. You would see a long, snake-like structure embedded in the block, your space-time worm. You think you have free will. You think you can choose what to have for breakfast tomorrow. But the you of tomorrow is already eating that breakfast in the space-time block. You are just the consciousness crawling along the worm, experiencing the ride. But the tracks are already laid. This is a terrifying thought. It feels like a prison. It means our struggles, our hopes, our anxieties about the future, are they meaningless? If the script is already written, why are we acting so hard? But there is another side to this coin, a darker yet strangely beautiful implication. If the future already exists, then the moment of your death is already there. It is a coordinate in space-time. It is as real as the chair you are sitting on. You just haven't walked into that room yet. In a physics sense, you are already dead. But wait, if the future exists, then the past exists too. We are terrified of death because we think it means the end. We think we disappear. But in a block universe, nothing disappears. Your childhood is not gone. It is still there. The friends you lost, the loved ones who died. They are not gone. They are just elsewhere in time. They are still laughing, still breathing, still living in that slice of the block, eternally. In 1955, Einstein's best friend, Michel Besso, died. Einstein was old and sick himself. He wrote a letter to Besso's family. It contained one of the most beautiful and haunting sentences in the history of science. He wrote, "Now he has departed from this strange world a little ahead of me. That means nothing." For us believing physicists, the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. Einstein wasn't just being poetic, he was being literal. He believed that in the four-dimensional landscape, his friend was not dead. He was just in a part of the landscape that Einstein could no longer see. It is the ultimate cosmic horror, but also the ultimate comfort. You are trapped in the block. You cannot change the script. But because of that, you are immortal. You are a permanent feature of the universe, a structure that exists forever in the fabric of space-time. So the next time you look at a clock and it seems to freeze for a second, remember, that is just your brain editing the movie. But the movie itself? The reel is already in the can. The beginning and the end are already written. You are just watching the premiere. So, try to enjoy the show.